Gamers, welcome back to the series for the final time. Today is a huge episode, a huge day, because it is the Minecraft Survival Season 3 finale. And also the finale of Minecraft Survival in general for a very, very long time. This world has been an amazing world. It's meant a lot to me and I've had so much fun playing in it and making the episodes on it. But nothing lasts forever, and today is just the day that we wrap up the series and say goodbye to this world forever. But to give the world a proper goodbye, we're going to do an entire world tour and take a look at everything we have built in this series. During the tour, whenever we're looking at a build or a project that I have done, there will be a number that pops up in the top right corner of your screen like this one. That number corresponds to the episode where we actually built the project or build that we were looking at that time in the video. I'm really excited to get on with this tour and wrap up the series at the same time. So please, please, please subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Not only because it will help me get 600 subscribers, which is my goal, and it has been for a while, but it would also mean just so much to me because I spend a very long time making these episodes and playing in this world. Let's begin the tour. So there's no better place to start a world tour than at world spawn. This is our world spawn. Obviously this is where this world kicked off all the way back in episode 1, which was uploaded in January. Jeez, it's been a while. A few months passed and then we came back to spawn and built this little house. It's pretty nice. There's not too much going on inside. Just basic crafting table, furnace, a bed. This was kind of like the emergency house. If anything was to happen to us and we didn't have our spawn point set and it was the middle of the night, we would come here. And also in these item frames, it's not just saplings. Saplings with renamed coordinates. If we go to these coordinates, then it will take us to one of the two bases, which we will explore and admire in today's episode. I really like world spawn for this world and I think I did a pretty good job with it. Didn't want to do too much here, but just a nice humble house, pretty nice. And then right here we have a bridge. We have to cross this bridge over the giant cave of the world, and we did absolutely nothing down there other than cave. And then we kind of just go through like this forest. I've always liked the vibe down here, although I do think that I really should have done a bit more of my own terraforming. But then here we are. Fence gates, and once we're through here, this is the forest base. This base was the pinnacle of this season. I really liked this base and it was my home for the longest time. So let's head right back to where we were and begin the tour of this place. This right here is Kaden's cabin. Actually, this was not built by me. Throughout the series, we've had these kind of like collaboration episodes. They really spiced up the season, where my best friend Kaden would join the world and just do random stuff. And he actually decided to build this, and just a nice house. I can't take credit for it though. But what I definitely can take credit for is the spawn zone. Now obviously world spawn was kind of just like a forest at the time. I didn't really like it. I wanted to find a better area. This was the area I decided to go with. It wasn't a plains, but we had a bit more space to work with. And then we just set up these beginner farms, which I didn't really use the sweetberry one that often. I use this a lot. And the cow and sheep pen. This used to be filled to the brim with cows and sheep, and now they're all dead. And then the Sugarcane Farm as well. So old, so nostalgic. Eventually expanded though and built the mining hub. Now we're not going to go down here today, but it's literally just a strip mine. I mean, you've all seen a strip mine before. Just here, the automatic wheat farm. I don't really like to do this because I always have to replant it, but because it's the world tour, here we go. The water comes tumbling down and the wheat just falls into the collection system. quite nice actually. Push the button, water disappears. So I'm really bad at redstone, so I can't really explain this as much as I can other farms. But basically, it's just redstone hooked up to dispensers, which obviously leak out a load of water. Water would destroy the crops, that's just the mechanics. It's quite a nice farm, honestly. We built it quite late into this base, so it didn't get used a lot though. Also, around the base, I do want to point out, you'll see these like streetlight design. I really like these street lights, they're so good. And this base is highly terraformed as well. And oh, this place, I can't get enough of it. This is just such a good build. And it was actually the first major build of the world. The starter house, oh boy. I lived here. I actually lived here, that's crazy to think. Because it's just so small, look. Like this is where I would sleep. I have like a double bed. In one of my houses, I have a triple bed. Really small in here as well. I do remember, like, a long time ago when this world was kicking off, there was chests here, then I put a map, and then I just removed everything and moved out, kind of. Bees here, we do have a little bit of life around this base. And then this way to enchant. I always really liked this field. The enchanting forest. And then here we go with the enchanting setup. Actually, the first enchanting setup of the world. Built it very early on in the series. What do we have in here? Enchanted books, no surprise there. Enchanting table, anvils, grindstones. Just your basic enchanting setup. Just here we have the wither pit. Now, as long as we're careful, we shouldn't die doing this. And we just jump all the way down into, yep, water. This was where we fought the first wither of the world. Very special wither, and it gave us the very first beacon, a very special beacon. Here we have the Sugarcane Farm, the very first automatic farm of the world. And I can actually explain how this works. So the sugarcane is planted on this sand, and then we just have a block and then a piston. Pistons obviously pushing this game, and then observers. On the observers, we actually have redstone. When the sugarcane has reached the max height, which is 3, then the observers trigger the pistons to push the sugarcane, 2 layers of it. And then when these carts are actually moving, they get picked up by the minecart with hopper and delivered into the collections chest. It's very nice, and as a matter of fact, it's double-sided, which is really nice as well. Over here, Cactus Farm. Again, didn't really use this farm that much, but it's a nice thing to have. And wow. Yeah, a lot of cactus that I never really used. I just built this farm for no reason. I just needed something to do before the Grand Ocean Monument raid, I think. This place is somewhere I will never forget. The storage basement. Now, it's very small down here, but that's all I needed. It's manual, it's tiny. Nowadays, I have this huge storage building. But honestly, this place is just so nice. It's not even really decorated that well. Like, the ceiling is dirt. Dirt! And just look at all this. It's so nice. I really like it down here. And this is kind of where we did like a lot of our stuff in this series. Like stone cutting, brewing, upgrading to netherite, sleeping. It's a really nice place, the storage basement. Somewhere I'll never forget. And I mean that. Nether wart patch here, and over here, where have all the sheep gone? Okay, well this was a wool farm. Back in the day, this was a wool farm. Now it's kind of just nothing. There's no sheep. I think they all despawned. That's sad. But this was the wool farm. Sheep in here, and then I can't really explain this redstone, but redstone signals sent to dispensers. Well, sent to observers, which trigger the dispensers to cut the wool off the sheep. And then, just like the collection system over there, falls through the block into the minecart with hopper, delivered into the chest. Wow, we have a lot of wool. Way more than cactus. We have our highly decorated nether portal. We'll go through there shortly, but not yet. Be patient. And here, diamond beacon. First beacon, very special one. It wasn't always diamond, but it's just a beacon. But it's a very nice beacon. Blue beam as well. Then this place. This place was pretty big. You could say that. My modern mansion. I built this thing and I'm really happy with it. We have like a porch balcony type thing over here. And then if we come inside, it's been so long since I've actually been in here. Hallway here and then living room here. Doggo was on the carpet. You'll meet him later in the tour. Kitchen here. And then in here we just had a garage. Why did we have a garage? I don't know actually. Up here, master bedroom, main enchantment room. Crazy to think. And then up here, I really didn't know what to do on the 3rd floor, as you're about to see. So I just put a load of junk up here. I asked you guys for ideas, but never got any. So I just made it your typical attic where you just like throw a load of stuff up here and just never really think about it until like 10 years later, and then you're like, oh, I've made a mess. But yeah, that's more or less this house. And I'm really happy with it. Map there. Here. This place was crazy. Villager Valley Project Villager, as I called it. I worked on this from like episode 30 to episode 34 or something, I want to say. But like this place was crazy. This project was crazy. So just here we have just a rail line. That goes all the way to the village. It's very far for those of you that have seen those episodes. This is, I believe I called it Villager Containment 001. At one point, filled with beds, filled with villagers. And now, don't worry guys, they're not all dead. You'll see them later, they're in the trading hall. And pet cats. Did we actually give these names? Yeah, we did. Tommy and Timmy. But I kind of neglected these guys. They were given names, forgotten. For the longest time, they were unnamed actually. Kind of feel bad for them, since Doggo has received so much love this series. And then here we are, the villager trading hall. If you couldn't see, pretty big villager head. I didn't know what else to do, so I just did a villager head. I didn't want to do a horrible looking build. And yep, here's the trading hall. I haven't traded with all these villagers, but some of them are master tier, like the librarian. This guy, our first mending villager, gave us this awesome mending equipment. Crazy. Cleric, I don't think he's master, definitely not. Fletcher's master. Cartographer definitely is. How did we get the Woodland Mansion map otherwise? Just crazy in here. Every single villager type. Even this idiot. As much as I would like to kill him right now because he's a nitwit, he's useless to the society, I'll let him live. Although I'm going to be out of this world for a very long time, so he probably will never see me again. And that goes to all these villagers. Yeah, that's the villager trading hall. Boy, did this project take a while. It was so tedious, and I practically hated it. Alright, I absolutely hated it. But what else do we have to show over here? I think that's everything for this particular base. I mean, we've got to go to the Nether. Yeah, I think we've done this base. Alright, that's cool. So, it's through to the Nether. Here we are, this world's Nether hub. I really like this place. It consists of a Nether portal, armor stands, supplies with gold helmets, a soul sand highway, we'll go down there in a bit. A respawn anchor, which is very special, although I don't think it ever got used because we didn't die a lot. I just set my spawn there. I didn't mean to do that. And then here, a cliff. Very dangerous. Definitely don't want to be jumping down there. But anyway, what's all this about? The Soul Sand Highway. Well, this is actually really long and it was a very tedious project. I don't know why I actually did this, but I did it. And with Soul Speed 3, we can go really fast down this thing. And it's not particularly safe. You get a couple hoglins spawning down here, but it's fine, it's fine. And it takes us to these fence gates here. And this is where it gets kind of dangerous if you can't clutch it. But once you've climbed all the way down the ladder, you then follow these crimson slabs into this Nether fortress. And here we go, just through the Nether fortress. Again, definitely not safe. Could definitely get a few blazes spawning in here. But yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Not on the world tour, buddy. But then all the way up here, hoglins. Why did I not spawn proof this thing? I'm such an idiot. But if we follow this hallway, it actually takes us out onto the Nether Fortress roof, I'm pretty sure. Yep, definitely. And then there's this bridge just here. And I definitely didn't make this very safe either. Yeah, this bridge is really, really safe, ain't it? Very, very safe. Blaze spawner here, it's gone now. And it's gone because this takes us to the Blaze XP farm. That's not good. There's a ghast. Okay, let's take cover. Let's take cover. Okay. I think we're good. The ghast definitely saw me, but I was too quick. So that just goes back through to the fortress, and there's nothing to see. It's a Nether fortress. But this, on the other hand, is the Blaze Spawner Farm. The Blaze Spawner XP Farm. I'm very, very happy with this place. This was the main source of XP in this world for the longest time. I always meant to come back down here and do a lot more with this place, but I never actually did. But basically, how this farm works is, it's really simple. Blazes spawn, and then the lava actually pushes them, kind of like water would with like zombies and skeletons in the overworld. But it pushes them down into a funnel, which leads down here, where I can swipe at them with my OP sword, and then they're dead. And then I get their drops, which is useful, and XP. Can't forget about that. That's the Nether done. But I think before we actually take a look at the current and second base of this world, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the end and get that out. Okay, we are very, very far from where we just were. But we are here at the Stronghold base. So we can jump down here. It's a very safe dropper. And then the Stronghold, I decided to just turn it into this black room. I called it the Room of Nothingness. To get out, there's a bubble column. There's really not too much going on in here, other than this. And if we jump through here, I'm sure you all know what's coming. Course takes us to the end. Now we have to be very careful because this bridge is definitely not very secure, and I hate doing that. But once we're past this bit, it's honestly really safe from there on out. We just have to climb these ladders. It takes us to, yet again, a soul sand highway. A lot smaller this time. I didn't realise that I made it a lot smaller at the time, but I'm kind of happy that I did. I used less materials. And it just takes us to the Ender Hub. What does it remind you of? Oh, the Nether Hub? Oh, that's because they're the exact same, just a different material. But something that the Nether Hub doesn't have is this. And it's the return portal. Of course. Obviously, this just goes to the main end island, and you've all seen that before. It's where we fought the dragon and everything. And this takes us back to where we last set our spawn. In this case, this base. And that's a wrap for this base in general. Let's just take one more look at it from the sky, because that's where it really comes to life. Take a look at this place. This is a really nice base. I'm so happy that I actually built this thing because it's really nice and we will never forget about it. This minecart track, not that one, but this one here, if we hop in it, it'll actually take us to the second base for this world and get some speed. And there we go. Like a fun fair ride. I really enjoy this, and I don't use it that much because I have the elytra and it's a lot quicker. Just eat some food along the way, and here we are at the tiger biome. There's the storage building. You'll see that in greater detail later. And here we are, base 2. Yes, we actually have an entire second base in this world, which is just fantastic. So it all kicked off here with this tiny tent, as it is now referred to as. Basic stuff again, crafting table, furnace, storage, because I literally had everything, and I mean pretty much everything, in these chests, and it was very cramped and very unorganized. Bed, and then later the anvil, and then this base is also highly terraformed. I don't know if it's terraformed as much, but it is terraformed. Here we have the giant crop fields, and here we have the auto smelter actually. This was actually really recent. I cannot believe I waited this long to build such a simple farm. How this works is, what we want to smelt goes in the top chests. It funnels down into the input slot of the cooker. The fuel for it to actually cook what we want to cook goes into these chests, and then they light up, they do their magic, and the output is put into these output chests where we collect what we have been looking for. But this path down here takes us to a completely different way, away from the base actually, but not too far, and is still classified as part of the base. But it takes us to the grand storage building. Now it does have a 2x2 piston door, alright? But it's a lot better when we view it from the sky, because this building has no roof whatsoever, and this is why. The idea is we just glide in here. Since we built it so late game, if we just had like a double oak door, it would be pathetic, which is why I did this. Storage everywhere. The 2 god items up there, the god apple and the totems in my hand, because we had to have one for the world tour, right? In a world like this. But that would be kept up there. And the very special pet. We got this guy so early on. I don't know why, he just means so much to me. Doggo. Doggo is his name. And he's just such an amazing pet. A second dragon egg here because I play on Bedrock Edition. Really nothing else to see here. Here we have the Woodland Explorer Map, and I actually purchased an Ocean Explorer Map just for aesthetic. And then 2 double beds. Really not a whole lot to see. And to get out, piston door, because I'm rich, baby. But that's the storage building, and it's really nice. For this space, I really started to get into developing a story. The idea is this was a kingdom, and it's quite historical as well. Like, it's from a very long time ago. Just here we have a bridge to absolutely nothing, but it just gets us across the river, which is nice. And then here is one of my favourite builds of the entire world. And honestly, a lot of people might be surprised, but I've come to like it more than the modern mansion. Just because I think it looks so much better. But it's my castle. And we'll definitely take a look at this build from the air to start with, because, yeah. Again, that's where it all really comes to life. It's really good in the air. Great view. And then inside, you just have your typical interior. Remember, it was a kingdom. We got magical powers, and I just like to enchant, so we have an enchanting setup. Double bed here. Kitchen here. Storage here. This was before the storage building and not used that much. And then we have 4 towers that all link up to this area up here, kind of like, as I like to refer to it, as the greenery area. Moss patches, oak crossroads, not really a whole lot to see otherwise. And then up in the turrets, we kind of just have just like a few workstations, barrels, crafting tables, stuff like that. Overall though, amazing build. Now, no flint and steels or flame bows or anything like that beyond this point. But down here was something, again, not built by me. But for some odd reason, my friend Kaden, the guy who built that really nice Kaden's cabin area, decided to build this thing. And I decided to keep it because I thought it's a nice way to represent what an idiot he was. And it's called the Monument of Stupidity. It's literally just this. And what do you even call this thing? Like, it's not even a cube, right? Like, there's this hole here. But it's made out of TNT. So if someone comes down here with a flint and steel, this base is bye-bye. Which is why we say no, none of that beyond that point. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, yeah, we have these awesome lights designs. But I actually prefer this design. Like, the dark oak and the deep slate look way better. But it's the same light design. The strip mine. We didn't use this place too much, but when we became rich, bubble columns and droppers. And you know what? We'll actually go down there. So you can just jump down here. I'm pretty sure there's water. Yep, I didn't remove it. Strip miners down there. Crafting table, furnace, bed. And then bubble column. Melon farm, nothing too crazy here. The crazy rocks again. And this goes to the beacon platform. Don't know why I did an elevator. Just thought it'd be cool, and it really is. But this is where we got our second beacon of the world. And because we are so rich, we got a diamond beacon again. But we also just have this nether portal. But it just goes back to the nether. It actually links up to the other portal. So we're not going through there because you've already seen it. If you want to see it again, rewind the video. Simple as that. But up here, I kind of neglected this place, but we live in a tiger biome. It's only right that we have some foxes. Actually, a fox. No, 2 foxes. Okay, 2 foxes. That's good. So we have Billy and Bobby. Baby actually suffered a horrible death. And my friend, yeah, he became a cold-blooded murderer. And I don't even want to speak about it. But Bobby and Billy, they're safe. Bobby has always been. Billy actually almost was killed. But he made it back. It's all good. And that's basically it. In fact, or do we show this? It's a world tour. I think we have to. So, we have to be secret between me and you and everybody who watches this video, actually. So, it's not very secret. But anyway, let's just act like it is. Up here, like, no terraforming. You just think this is some boring old forest with rocks and mountains. Well, look at this. 2x2 piston door. You probably noticed no valuables in the storage building. Here we go, my secret base. This is where we store all of our valuables, our diamonds, our ancient debris. We don't have any ancient debris, but we do have a netherite ingot, which is a much bigger flex. Iron, gold, emerald, you name it, it's in here. And for some reason, I decided to make this diamond block the center of attention, even when we have a notch apple, but we don't need to talk about that. And if you couldn't tell, I was kind of joking when I was like, oh, let's be secretive, because once you're up here, it's dead obvious that something's here. And that's where we're going to wrap up this world tour and actually this series. I've had a lot of fun with this world, this series, this concept even, Minecraft Survival. It's been the main focus of my channel for some time now. And I've loved it, but I'm excited to see where the future will take us. But one last time, I do want to thank you all so much for the incredible support throughout the series. And it really kept the series alive and inspired me to keep playing in this world and keep creating the amazing episodes for you guys. Although I put a lot of time and effort into these episodes. So if you've not already subscribed, just for that at least, could you please just hit that red sub button? Because you guys know this, but it's been my dream to hit 600 ever since New Year's. But thank you for watching this world tour and the past 68 episodes of this series. And if you haven't already watched all the episodes, then I have an entire playlist up on the channel and you can go and binge watch the entire series. Here's to the next generation for this YouTube channel. Thank you for making this series so amazing for me, motivated me to keep going. But that's where we say goodbye to this world, Minecraft Survival Season 3. Stay safe and goodbye gamers. Boy has it been a good one.